Celebrities don't just transform their careers, they transform themselves too. And it can come with an insane price tag.
Smoking!
These celebs hold the titles for the most expensive transformations in Hollywood. Want to know who paid the most? And stick around to the end. Number 20. Cardi B. Cardi B is one of the biggest names in the business, but surprisingly, she didn't start out as a singer. The WAP star was once a dancer, and she slowly saved up her tips so she could enhance her body. She started off with a boob job and butt implants, giving her the silhouette we recognize today. She's not shy about it either, saying in interviews that she'll do whatever she wants with her own body. Most recently, she had another breast augmentation and added dental surgery and liposuction to her list of alterations. All of this cost her about 50 grand. But her last surgical makeover nearly ended badly when she suffered complications during the operation. So she's probably done with all that now. I guess 50K is enough anyway. Cardi B might be done with plastic surgery, but the next person on our list won't be. Number 19. Donatella Versace. Iconic fashion designer Donatella Versace once said she doesn't believe in totally natural for women. Don't worry, Donatella, we noticed. It's obvious she had some work done, and it started long before she reached her 60s, but nobody knew exactly what procedure she'd chosen. There's speculation she's undergone laser treatments, as well as a little plumping in the form of Botox and fillers, plus a brow and facelift too. You'll see a lot of speculation that she's had a nose job too, but we think photos clearly show that's not true. The estimated cost of all that work stands between 25 and 50 grand. So I guess it's bad luck to anyone who wants to follow the icon's fashionable footsteps without having a matching bank balance. If you think 50 grand is a lot of cash, we're just getting started. Let's jump in a little with number 18, Megan Fox. Think Megan Fox is a rare natural beauty in Hollywood? You're wrong. She's had a shocking number of surgical procedures, considering most people think she hadn't had any work done at all. In total, she's supposedly undergone laser skin resurfacing, a breast augmentation, an eyelid lift, dental surgery, not one, but 3 nose jobs, plus the usual Botox and fillers for her cheeks and lips. Surprised? That's probably just because she's never spoken about any of it. Estimates on the cost of all these transformations come to about $60,000. That might have been a mistake, since she basically destroyed her own career by being rude about the director who made her a star. Think it's only women who spend loads of cash on cosmetic surgery? Think again. Number 17. Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow transformed himself into an iconic performer in the 80s with the hit song Copacabana. But that's not the only thing he transformed. Like most people, Barry didn't want to age too obviously, and with cash to burn, he knew what to do about that little problem. He had a facelift, cheek implants, and eyelid surgery. He's also admitted to a nose job, but only to repair a broken nose. In his case, that story seems to check out, because it doesn't look like the shape of his nose had been changed at all. But even though you can't see it, it sure cost him. He spent 70 grand on these surgeries. He's 79 years old now. We'll leave it up to you to decide if the price tag was worth it. You'll be expecting a few older stars like Manilow on this list, and the next one won't disappoint. Number 16. Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda was once considered one of the most beautiful women who ever lived, and she's one of the few stars who acknowledges that plastic surgery isn't exactly fashionable these days. She said that she wished she was brave enough not to have any work done, but she did. She's willing to talk about it though. Anna said she's had a breast augmentation, face and eye lifts, and even work done to improve her jawline as she got older. But in 2020, she announced she was done with plastic surgery as she hit 84 years old. Maybe that's because she'd already spent 70 grand on her transformations. She's not exactly famous for her plastic surgeries, even though she spoke about it openly. But the next star on this list did choose to use her plastic surgery as one of her trademarks. Number 15. Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was a beloved comedian and pioneer in her field. She was also one of the most outspoken stars when it came to plastic surgery. The sad truth is she suffered from very low self-esteem, and she became a little obsessed with using plastic surgery to help give herself a little confidence boost. But like all great comedians, she found the funny side in the tragedy and often spoke about her cosmetic procedures in her stand-up routines. She once joked that she had so much plastic surgery that when she dies, they'll donate her body to Tupperware. We don't have time to list every procedure she had done over the years. She had over 300 cosmetic surgeries over her lifetime. In the end, she sadly passed away during a routine medical procedure, but this one wasn't for cosmetic purposes. They were simply trying to diagnose the cause of a sore throat. By that time, she had already spent a whopping $100,000 on her cosmetic transformations. Now, here's a more modern celebrity with a matching cosmetic surgery bill. Number 14. Khloe Kardashian. We know you are all waiting for the Kardashian-Jenner girls to show up on this list. Khloe has spent the smallest amount on her cosmetic procedures. Hard to believe, with a total of $100,000. We don't know exactly what procedures she's had because she hasn't mentioned anything specific. But the star once said she thinks cosmetic surgery should be viewed like makeup, so you can bet she's had at least a little work done on her face. There's also the classic Kardashian butt implants and lip fillers to consider, as well as possible liposuction. You can bet she's transformed even more than you think to reach a bill as big as that. Want to hear what the daughter of two huge Hollywood stars is up to? Then check this out. Number 13. Rumor Willis. Rumor Willis is the daughter of Hollywood icons Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. But unsurprisingly, she's pretty talented herself and has made her name as a singer and actress. But while most children of famous parents are mainly interested in stepping out of their parents' shadows, Rumor is more concerned with transforming herself. She spent tons of cash on changing her face, from the classic Botox and lip injections to several surgeries to reconstruct her jawline. There are also rumors of a nose job, but we think her nose looks exactly the same in photos and don't really believe that. Either way, the estimated total she spent on these surgeries comes to about $100,000. $100,000 is a lot of cash, but we're able to make a big jump up from that total. Here's a star who's famous for her plastic surgery. Number 12. Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne became famous as rock star Ozzy Osbourne's partner. But back in the 70s, when they started dating, she said she didn't feel pretty enough to be the girlfriend of a rock star. That's when she started getting plastic surgery. And she just never stopped. Not even when they got married. Now, she's just as famous for that as she is for her rock and roll husband. The list of alterations she had done is extensive. In fact, she says there's almost no bit of her body left that hasn't been worked on. She's had arm, leg, neck, and facelifts, a gastric bypass, tummy tucks, liposuction, Botox, nose jobs, and who knows what else. She seems pretty happy with it all, but her wallet sure isn't. Estimates for the cost of all these surgeries range from $160,000 to a mind-blowing $250,000. Lucky Ozzy has all that Black Sabbath money stashed away. And here's another star from the world of music who's just as famous for her love of plastic surgery as Sharon. Number 11. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton famously once joked, "You'd be surprised how much it costs to look this cheap." The iconic singer grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, where one local woman made her fall in love with the blonde hair, red lips, long nails aesthetic. Dolly turned that look into her own personal brand, but it sure cost her. She's very open about how much work she's had done, and it's a pretty long list. Breast augmentations are obviously top of it, but she's also had nose jobs, liposuction, and eyelid, brow, and facelifts. But these days, she's mainly sticking to fillers and Botox. So, Dolly, how much does it really cost to look like a blonde bombshell? Some sources say she spends only $25,000. That's pretty hard to believe. It's more like they've missed a zero, and the real number is closer to $250,000. But even Dolly never looked like she had as much work done as the next star on our list. Number 10. Pete Burns. Dead or alive singer Pete Burns topped the charts with the song "You Spin Me Round Like a Record," a song which some of the younger people watching this might think was written by Flo Rida. We promise Burn did it first. Anyway, Burns decided to use some of his money from that huge hit to fix his broken nose. That turned out to be a gateway drug. He soon became obsessed with plastic surgery, initially claiming he was aiming for physical perfection. But sadly, it didn't work out that way. Over the years, he had an estimated 300 surgeries. If that sounds bad, it gets worse when you hear most of them were to correct major problems caused by other cosmetic surgeries. Lip filler began spreading, he developed horrific infections under his skin, and holes started appearing all over his face. It got so bad he almost had his lips amputated. He eventually sued the doctor and used the money from the settlement to have the lip filler removed. According to Burns, he was forced to have a major operation nearly every week for 2 whole years to remove the filler from parts of his face as far away as his cheeks where it had spread. It then almost killed him as the infection caused blood clots that gave him a heart attack. He was revived, but most of you will know he died of a heart attack not long after. We don't know if the heart attack that ended his life was related to the botched plastic surgery though. Overall, the surgeries cost him at least $300,000. You'll be happy to hear that's the most tragic story on our list. The next person is actually related to someone we already mentioned, but who is it? Number 9. Demi Moore. Demi Moore recently shocked fans when she appeared on the catwalk at Paris Fashion Week, looking pretty unrecognizable. But most people don't know she's always been kinda unrecognizable the way she originally looked. Before she became famous, she already started her plastic surgery journey. So, by the time she became one of the highest paid actresses ever for her role in the film Striptease, she already had a different face from the one she was born with. That might explain why her daughter Rumor has also made it onto this list. Moore has had the typical breast implants, Botox, and facelift procedures. But she also stands out for something pretty weird. She once had wrinkles removed from her knees. In all, estimates say she spent between $50,000 and $400,000 on these procedures. You've got to wonder if knee wrinkles are really bad enough to encourage that kind of spending. But that huge price tag still doesn't come close to the next one on the list. Number 8. Cher. Cher's all about transforming herself, but not just artistically. She was always pretty open about her use of cosmetic surgery. She's so far spoken about getting her nose and eyelids done, breast augmentations, facelifts, dental surgeries, and of course, Botox. But the singer, actress, and all-around icon is now in her 70s, and she actually looks pretty great. So maybe it was money well spent, even if she does estimate she spent a shocking $750,000 on all that surgery. I guess if you're a big star as she is for as long as she has been, you have that kind of money just lying around the house. Think that's a lot of money? We're about to reach 7 figures, so brace yourself for number 7, Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is the matriarch of the family, known for their interest in plastic surgery, so it's no surprise she spent a staggering amount of money on some transformations of her own. She's even been known to go in for a facelift in time for big occasions. It all started back in the 80s with a breast augmentation, and she's since had those implants adjusted. She even got an unusual breast reduction surgery. She's also had Botox and dental surgeries, but she denies ever having a nose job. But even without the price of a nose job, she still managed to spend $1 million on surgeries she did have. Now that's dedication. But she's not the only star on the list who spent $1 million. The next one matched that price. Number 6. Heidi Montag. Reality star Heidi Montag shocked the world when she admitted to having a whopping 10 cosmetic procedures in just one day. I would have bet that was illegal. She since said she thinks she's addicted to plastic surgery. This had led to a full-body transformation for Heidi. She had breast and cheek implants, an eyebrow lift, a chin reduction, liposuction, a nose job, and a butt enhancement. In total, she spent an incredible $1 million on all those procedures. She stated she regrets spending so much money on the surgeries though. No kidding, Heidi. The next star on our list never seemed to regret his cosmetic transformations though. Number 5. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has always been famous for his cosmetic surgeries, among other things we won't mention. Jackson himself claimed that he had vitiligo, a skin condition that causes patches of skin to lose pigmentation. It's the same condition which helped make gorgeous model Winnie Harlow famous. Jackson said he only lightened his skin to even out his skin tone, but he also had several nose jobs, a forehead lift, cheekbone surgery, and more specialist procedures like having his lips surgically thinned and a dimple added to his chin. That's all without even mentioning the regular filler injections and the tattooed lips and eyeliner. It's no surprise it cost him loads of money. He apparently spent $1 million on all those procedures, but it probably would have cost way more today. And for an example of what it costs today, let's ask the next person on our list. Number 4. Kylie Jenner. Most people will agree, Kylie Jenner looks totally different from the way she used to look as a young girl on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She started with lip fillers, kicking off a huge trend around the world at the same time. She's now had a breast augmentation, dental surgery, chin and eye lifts, cheek implants, and the classic Kardashian butt enhancement. Some say she's had a nose job too. Most people say she looks like $1 million, which still means she's made a loss because it cost her $2 million. But she's not the only person from the family to spend an eye-watering $2 million on her looks. Number 3. Kim Kardashian. For a while, Kim Kardashian's butt was the most famous thing on the planet. She even got X-rayed to prove she didn't have implants. But the rumor wasn't totally crazy. Not with all the transformation she's had. Her procedures included breast implants, a hairline lift, lip fillers, cheek implants, tummy tucks, a chin augmentation, and Botox. And while she doesn't have butt implants, she has had a butt lift. There are also whispers of a nose job. We'll leave it up to you to decide if that's true. In total, it all cost her about $2 million. That's a lot of cash, but one member of her family has it beat by miles. Number 2. Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's transformation was more extensive than anyone else on this list. After all, she was once a man. She paid a lot of cash to transform into the person she is now, but it wasn't all about switching genders. She's had some purely cosmetic procedures done too, including a nose job and laser hair removal. Even with the extensive work she's done on her body, the price tag is still pretty shocking. It comes to an eye-watering total of $5 million. If you were waiting to see a Kardashian or Jenner at the top of this list, we have a surprise for you, because the person in our number 1 spot is actually number 1, Jocelyn Wildenstein. Jocelyn Wildenstein made billions by divorcing her billionaire art dealer husband back in the late 90s. But money wasn't the only thing he left her. Rumor has it, she first started trying out cosmetic surgery because her husband loved big cats. Now, she's better known as a cat lady because she had so much surgery to look more like a cat. We'll leave it up to you to decide if you think she achieved that. Either way, there's no doubt she thought it was a good investment. With money to burn, she spent a mind-blowing $6.7 million on plastic surgery. But this socialite is now bankrupt, so you might want to think about that if you want to take the same path. These might be the most expensive physical transformations in Hollywood, but these celebs didn't transform their careers as quickly as the ones on this list. Check out our list on celebs who destroyed their careers in seconds.